I think the most important thing to me about the recent advancements in AI is the acceleration that's occurred. The models became large enough to have immense value in producing content.
Yeah.
It hit the point where until you got there, they weren't good enough to be really useful, and then they were. Now there's an acceleration that's happening in the broader usefulness of those models. So whereas, as you said, you can take a model, you can build a model with your own content, you can augment an existing large language model with your content, and that creates applications that we don't even understand, how much impact they're going to have, but we know they'll have a lot. For example, we can, Vertex has the benefit of being the custodian of very large collections of focused content. Things like asbestos litigation over 40 years, or things like multi-district litigation cases like opioids and so on and so forth. That content is difficult to understand in its entirety. It's difficult to mine patterns in that content. But with AI, you can introduce that content to a language model and open up what ends up to be a door that didn't exist before, without literally taking every part of those documents and constructing it. It allows you to ask questions of all of that information as opposed to search every piece of that information. That's a whole different thing. So the opportunity for not just Vertex, but participants in the legal community, whether it be firms or the courts, think about the courts, wanting to, a court clerk wanting to understand the relevance and the precedents. Today, they have to search things like legal citation indexes, like Westlaw and LexisNexis. Now they can ask questions of everything. They can say, what precedent is there for this argument everywhere? That's different than saying, what does LexisNexis have in the case law for this state? The opening of that aperture, again, we don't quite understand how good that's going to be, but we know it's going to be good. And so that to me is the most exciting. The acceleration of access to information is being enabled by generative AI.
Yeah, I love that. That's really, you touched on a point there that I find is really interesting, being able to talk to a computer, natural language. It really dissolves that computer interface, and suddenly everybody is an expert at, computing and how to best get that information out.